My name is James Maiden.
My name is Luke Jones.
And this is the Weekly Roundup.
Now, James, joined by a very special guest today. We have former captain of the Cowboy football team, one of the captains of the Cowboy football team, and All-Armac academic honourable mention, Nicholas Jack Black-Locken. So say hi to the folks, Nick.
Hi, folks.
There you go.
Nice.
So on the agenda this evening, track, the preseason rankings have come out. Now we were named fourth. The Highlands were named fourth to finish fourth in the conference this year, and we've also got a couple of ladies who have been named as preseason All-Armac competitors, runners. I don't know the correct term. Athletes, perhaps. All-Armac athletes.
I think you're safe to say athletes.
I think we're going to go with athletes. So Annie Topol and Tashay Hunter. So there they are, Annie Topol and Tashay Hunter. Big congratulations to the ladies, and good luck in the upcoming season. It's going to be an interesting season. But, gents, you know what I did today? You don't know what I did today because you're in bed and you were being lazy. You know what I did today. You and I went and stuffed our face at JC's Pizza.
JC's Pizza, all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Let me tell you, I did not lose any money today.
No, I'm not sure if they'll do it again if a couple of football players keep going there every day for only $6. You can have about 12,000 calories. So Nick was he weighed in at 180 pounds this morning. And
I was feeling light, and they say you lose your Hungarian card if you don't weigh in over 250. So I had to bulk up, carbo load a little bit, I had to jog around the field a couple times this morning, so, I was feeling a little skinny.
Well, I mean, it's always an important thing to, to carbo load and to eat before you have a social weekend. And of course, this weekend there's a lot of football going on, and we're getting to the pointy end of the season. In fact, pro football and of course Division 1 college football. Now, James, you were lucky enough to go to a Division 1 game this week, weren't you?
I went to go watch my brother play at the Iron Bowl against Auburn, so that was pretty fun. Except I drove 9 hours to watch him get ejected.
So of course, we've had the mishap with your other brothers missing lift.
I know, right?
Slacking, missing lift. You know what I find ironic?
Clearly there's a day off there. He's not part of the no days off mentality.
Not part of the hashtag no days off mentality.
And he's probably not a JUCO product.
He's definitely
like
not a
me
JUCO.
either. So he doesn't understand the grind I've been through.
Does not understand the grind. And that's a lesson to everyone out there. Got to understand the grind. What I have noticed, though, is the majority of people that put that hashtag on most of their crap are the ones that miss, 50%, 60% of the lifts. So I don't know whether they're grinding on their own time.
Maybe, in all honesty, there's some days where you just want to grind on your own.
Anyway, moving on, we have basketball this week, and we open our RMAC account against the old enemy, CSU Pueblo. I guess not really the old enemy, but the closest enemy, CSU Pueblo. Now, they're 2-4 so far this season. We're 4-1. We lost the first game to a team that I can't stand, Western. New Mexico. I have history there, but we went on a 4-game winning streak, and that meant also, avenging that loss to Western New Mexico. We opened up against Colorado State Pueblo this weekend. That's here, and that's on Saturday. Now, there was a little bit of confusion last week with the times. It was at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock last week because they were non-conference games. But as this is a non-conference game, the ladies will tip off at 5 and the gentlemen at 7. And I don't like to put the mocker on anyone, but I think we might be favourites in that contest, particularly in the men. I mean, Gerard Davis, who I caught up with after their good win a couple of weeks ago, he's averaging 22 points a game, which is pretty impressive, and I think about 6 assists and just over 1 steal, which is pretty impressive numbers, the import from Northern Colorado. But I know you'll be there, Nick. We head out and watch some basketball.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being in attendance for that one. I really want to see them go out there and shoot the lights out.
Moving on. Thanksgiving. James, you went to Texas. Texas.
And
And Nick, you also went to Texas for Thanksgiving.
I did spend a little bit of time in Texas. little bit of New Orleans.
And New Orleans.
Yeah,
Sampled what New Orleans had to offer.
I did.
How was the return to altitude?
Let's just say it was not easy. You know, in our post athletics career, we like to stay in shape, and I did none of that while I was down there. The most exercise I participated in was 12-ounce curls. Other than that, I came back here. We worked out the other day, and I felt like I was sitting on my own chest. So it was not fun.
Having Nick Logan sit on anyone's chest is not something I'd wish on my worst enemy. So yeah, we returned. Coach Ron Tonamo Bay Thompson gave you a workout when both of us went through it. Now, I want to say a very big thank you to both Ron and Joanne for hosting me for Thanksgiving. I got to stay in town, and not that it's an Australian holiday, or people think I'm European. I'm not, but not that it's even a European
English,
holiday.
right?
Yeah, very funny.
Hello, Governor.
Mama.
All right, it's time for a little wrestling.
Wrestling.
Now, we had 6 place getters that went up to, where did they go? Nebraska Kearney for the Holiday Inn.
Beautiful town, I heard. A lot of things to do there.
Well, it's Nebraska.
Yeah, a couple cows.
I mean, it's the Disneyland of the Midwest,
It's
isn't
the Disneyland of Nebraska.
it? Anyway, 6 place getters. Fantastic effort, guys. No winners this time. A couple of seconds, a few thirds. And they place all the way up to 6th. But they head all the way over to my favorite university. Fort Hays is where they're headed this weekend. Ooh. So quite a long trip all the way out there to Kansas. And with the nasty weather they've been getting, it's going to be hopefully a productive trip for them. And then they start their regular season duels against conference rivals. I think they start off against another team from Nebraska, Shadron, here, but that's not until January. So if you are back early, or if you are staying over the break, make sure you check out basketball and wrestling. I'm going to be jetting out of here on the 10th of December. My return will be TBA, so the next couple of episodes might be FaceTime screen captures. James knowing how to do just about everything on FaceTime.
He's a big time supporter of FaceTime.
Hey, I love all my Apple products.
Yeah.
Again, no promotional content implied.
Now, I want to backtrack a little bit.
Go on.
You spoke about Fort Hays.
I did.
And now, if I remember correctly, you had a certain incident with Fort Hays during the Cowboy baseball season this year. Do you care to elaborate on that a little bit? Maybe there was a case of stolen valor. I think someone was impersonating a respected official.
Okay, so there was some. Might be time for a rant, actually. And,
Rant time.
It might be. We need a
it.
little siren.
We need it.
Down. So how is it these days that we are all so soft and so protected that at a baseball game, which no alcohol is served at because it's a dry campus, and I got into a couple of Fort Hays players. I did. I was a little bit vocal, and I've been reminded by many people that rather than yelling generic kind of insults or hey, hit it to me, or you're not going to catch it, or I got it, all those classics. I get a little bit more personal. Nothing offensive, definitely nothing that would insinuate anyone is lesser of a human being based on perhaps their beliefs or not where they're from so much as, perhaps their ethnicity. I usually steer clear of that in poor taste, and it's fairly lowbrow.
Well, the thing about that is, you in no way, shape, or form were as offensive as volleyball captain Tiffany Matchett was. Her insults throughout that series were mind-blowing.
Oh.
Hit the ball on the ground, miss the ball. Can you imagine the self-esteem of those players after they heard comments like that?
What I want to do, and I
respect the game. That's all I'm asking for. I'm sorry for getting a little agitated about this, but it's baseball. Respect the game.
I'm with that, and maybe what we need to do is on the opposing dugouts put little safe zone signs that don't worry, no one's gonna offend you or try and try and get in your head.
I always find that funny because I mean, if you do end up in the league or whatever, you're gonna encounter fans like the Dirtbags in Philadelphia, where they do things like throw batteries at Santa Claus. So, being in the Christmas spirit, there's no way you can brush that off and move forward if words hurt your feelings, and it's honestly sad to see.
I think it's got to be a universal thing about just hardening up. What did you say? Rubbing some dirt into it and just getting on with it. So many times softness has been prevailing where people have been choosing the easy way out.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I didn't get any sleep last night because I was up all night studying. Firstly, I'm calling BS on that. Because the people I got that from in the weight room in the mornings, that was, no, you were not up all night studying. I've seen your grades. There's no way you were studying. And if you were...
Too busy for Fortnite and 2K.
Well, there you go. At least a bit of honesty would be nice about people missing. But if you need,
Hey man, you know, I had a couple victory royales last night. I mean, I'm tired. I can't make it to lift.
Now, I made it to lift this morning. I got up at 5 o'clock. Now I got to bed at 1 a.m. last night.
Yeah, well, and what were we doing last night? We were
were
working hard, doing 12-ounce curls, no days off. All we do is grind.
All we do is grind, and all we do is we support the local restaurants, and that's what we were doing.
Yep.
We
Karaoke night.
It was karaoke night. What did you sing, James?
Let's say we started with chicken fried and ended with some nice and slow. You always gotta love some Usher.
I also liked when you sang Frozen. That was pretty good.
Frozen was, shout out to my little sister, always.
Yeah, that was a hell of a song. You should have seen James singing it. Looked like a young Marvin Gaye.
If you've got any tips, any questions, anything you want to send us, any interviews you want us to do, please do hit us up on our Twitter accounts. They're at the bottom of your screen now. Please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification button. Do apologise for the extended delay between videos. And please, please, please go in and see our friends at B3 for the world's nicest green chili cheeseburger and $2 pints of beer, which quite frankly can't be beaten. We'll see you all next time.